Okay, everyone, so I'm actually holding a flag. This is the Colombian flag. It starts with the colors of yellow, blue, red. An easy way to remember that is sun, sky, red for earth. If we flip the flag and go like this, these are actually the colors for the Armenian flag. So it's kind of interesting. So people confuse them. But the reason I'm bringing this up is I was talking, and why don't you explain what you were telling me about social, the social classes in Colombia? Please explain.
So everybody that depends on the city or the location that you live, like the barrio, you have different social classes. So people who live more up north, at least in Bogota, which is the capital, they are known for being a higher status in quote quote class. The
Okay.
more south that you live, the less fortunate you are.
Okay. So, but how does that work as far as living situations? Explain that. You were saying like if you're a certain social class, you only live around people that are in a similar social class.
Right. So you know how it here, at least in California, you can be living right next to like wealthy people or someone who's struggling or like
Sure.
different stuff. That doesn't work in Colombia. The people are your neighbors. Like your neighbors are usually the same social class as you are because they afford the things that you're able to afford.
So if I'm a social class two and I'm in this community, everybody's probably a two.
Yes.
So we all kind of know we're all in the same bracket.
Right.
Whereas here in the US, your neighbor could be a multimillionaire
Mm-hmm.
and you can be, have a dollar to your name,
Right.
and it really doesn't make a difference here.
Right. Yeah, you can have in the same thing with like when you go to school. When you go to school, you have a 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade taking the same class.
Right.
In Colombia, it's not like that. All 9th graders go, all 10th graders go to the same class, and that's how they advance. If you lose a year because you failed your classes, then they hold you back.
Okay, so I didn't understand. Explain that again. You're saying, so like here in the US, you in high school you have grades 9 through 12, right?
11.
Well, here in the US it's 9 through 12.
Oh, in Colombia, it's back until 11th grade.
So ninth, 10th, and 11th grade. So your high school is 3 years.
It's 9, 10, 11. Yes, 3 years.
Okay, so here in the US our high school is 4 years.
Okay.
So how does somebody move up in social classes? If I'm a 2 and I want to eventually become a 5, how does that work? Because if I'm limited to being around a bunch of 2s, not that it's bad, but it's like, well, how can I progress if I'm stuck around people who are in the same understanding as me?
So then you have to either like study more and get more educated or get more licenses or like go further yourself in education, and then eventually apply for a higher job that gives you a higher status. Once you have that, then you're able to move to a different place.
Wow. Okay, so let me give you a hypothetical. So let's say I live in Colombia, right?
Okay.
And I'm a social status number 2.
Okay.
Okay. And let's say I inherit some money, someone passes or whatever. I inherit some money.
Okay.
And now I have enough money to technically afford a social class level 4. Would they allow me to do that if I have the money now?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so now if I have the money, they're like, oh, you're upgraded to a 4.
Yeah, I mean, once you say I want to go and buy here, they'll verify the funds. Once you're able to afford to live there, because you have to show your credit and like your income and all that stuff, then you're able to buy the property, and now you're a 4.
So another question I have is, you were explaining earlier, like if you have a bill, it'll have your social class number on the bill.
Yeah, it will say like your strato. So like say, oh, your name, your address, and this is the strato that you belong to.
Okay.
So the strato means the social class, like what part you belong to, so you can.
So when you go to school at that age, are the schools also divided by social classes?
No, because the school that you go to, it has people that are from your social class.
So, okay, so someone's a social class. Oh, because you're on the same community.
Right.
Oh, wow. So if I'm a 2, I know almost everyone here.
Right.
Because here you could go to school and there could be someone who's filthy rich, someone who's...
Right.
For example, I'm in California, like LeBron James' son. He went to a local high school here in Porter Ranch, and obviously he's a multimillionaire, if not a billionaire, whatever he's worth. But his kids going to school with just other people's kids who are maybe teachers, accountants, whatever they are.
Yeah,
they're not billionaires. But
yeah, we
they're
don't
all...
mix like that in Colombia.
Wow.
Like, and not only that, but in Colombia, like when it comes elementary, well, here it's called middle school and high school. For throughout those years, here you don't pay for anything because education is at no cost, right? So the kids
Yeah,
go.
if you're in public school, you don't pay for books.
Right. Now, in Colombia, it's you have to pay for school whether you go public or private.
Really?
You pay for uniforms because you can't go in regular clothes. You pay for books, for tuition, for classes, and for materials. That's for every single kid.
And that's for all of high school? You have to pay?
That's elementary, middle school, and high school.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's so interesting. For those of you who are watching, let me know what country you're from and how does your country work with things like social classes, schooling, how are your communities separated? Because it's very interesting because here in California or the US, we don't realize how much freedom we have. Like we don't have these certain limitations. We can just kind of do things. So please let me know where you're from and how does it work? Because I would love to know, especially if you're from a Spanish speaking country, like does it work like this in all Spanish countries? Is this a Colombian thing? I'd love to know in the comment section below. See you all soon.